Hey guys, hope you're having a great day today. My name is Daniel and I'm the High Mileage Helper. On this channel, my goal is to be able to help you learn more about the RV transporting industry, as well as give how-to videos for your truck and then give recommendations along the way. So if this is our first time meeting, just consider subscribing, hitting that like button if you get good value. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you everything you're going to need to know about picking a load off of your company load board, and we'll go ahead and get right into the video. So the very first thing you're going to want to do in deciding what load you want to pick off of your company load board is to first decide, where do you want to go? Do you want to go to the West Coast, go to the East Coast? Do you want to go south? What time of year is it? Are there going to be windstorms? Are there going to be tornadoes? Are there going to be crazy stuff going on? Blizzards? Many different factors play into that during the year, and so it's up to you to decide which place you want to go during the time that you're going to be picking that load. So that's number one. Number two is going to be, how much do you actually need to make? Are you planning on being gone the whole week? Do you have a big bill coming up? For the rest of the month, do you owe a certain amount of money for this or that in your budget? What do you need to make? And so for you to first decide where you're wanting to go, and this kind of ties in with how much you want to make, because if you're wanting to go way far out west, you're going to make a lot more money than just going maybe south or maybe east. Not as far to go. There's not many miles going that way. So that's up to you to first decide where you're going to go. And then number two is going to be how much you actually need to make. So the third thing you're going to have to decide when picking up a load off of a load board is what type of trailer are you wanting to pick up. So number three is really going to matter on what you actually have at your disposal. Do you just have a bumper pull hitch? Do you have a fifth wheel hitch? Can you do goosenecks? The real question is, what do you already have available to you? So generally your company's probably already going to know because you've already told them what hitches you have. If you recently got a fifth wheel hitch, then maybe let them know that as well, so then they could be thinking of you if they were to ever call you to get a load that they desperately need moved. That would be a possibility for you to then get. So no matter what hitch you have, you're just going to have to decide, if you do have more than one hitch, what are you willing to do? Generally, I hear people say, they prefer fifth wheels. They're easier to travel down the road. Bumper pulls, you have to put the stabilizer bars on. Maybe takes a little longer to hook up and to take off than maybe a fifth wheel. And fuel economy goes into that as well, and we'll talk about that in other videos. Number four, in my opinion, is going to be what load is it? Is it a normal load? Is it an old load? Is it a hot load? Depending on those factors, it's going to determine how much you're going to be getting paid. A normal load is going to have a lot more leniency with time to be able to get the trailer delivered. An older load would probably need to be delivered a little bit quicker, and then certainly a hot load has got to be delivered very quickly, and they may even give you the actual day it has to be delivered by. So depending on those three options, a normal, an old, or a hot load, the price can also vary with that. So is there extra pay involved for an old one that they just have got to get it gone? For a hot load that they're saying, we'll pay you an extra 10 cents, an extra 15, whatever it is, to be able to get this load delivered as soon as possible. So that's the next factor, I would say: a normal, an old, and a hot load. So number five, and really 5 and 6 go together, but number 5 is, how heavy is the trailer? Are you going to be pulling a train cart, essentially? Is this going to be a large, flat-fronted travel trailer that's going to be just horrible on fuel economy? Is it way overweight? Is it a CDL load? Those get paid more generally. There's a lot of different factors with that, but the heavier it is, probably the more it's going to decrease your fuel economy. So that's another factor in this whole decision-making process of going through a load board and deciding this one is the one I want. So how heavy it is does play a factor when you're deciding what trailer you might get. So 6, how long it is. Really, in my opinion, the shorter it is, the better, and the lighter it is, the better. So like we were saying, number 6, being the length of the trailer. Generally, that just probably means that the longer it is, the less fuel economy you're going to have. The shorter is, the better. The more maneuverability it actually really is to get in and out of places. I just prefer shorter trailers. Lighter trailers and shorter trailers, which generally goes hand in hand of deciding that on the load board. And lastly, you need to know where your trailer actually is, what yard or what lot it's supposed to be in when you go to pick it up. Synergy has now a new yard in Topeka, Indiana, and so that's going to be a little further away from me. So that may play a small factor in deciding, do I want to get this trailer over here or that trailer over there? What direction is it going? How heavy, how long it is? Is it a normal, an old, a hot load? Is it going to the region that I want to go to? Is it making the money that I need? So all those factors play into a melting pot, if you will, of making that decision, what load you want to get. So what I'd like to do is actually go through a live example of something I would want to do. I'm going to share the reasons why I'm going to choose the particular trailer. I'm going to share the reasons why I would not choose a certain trailer over another trailer. Everybody already has their own opinions and their own choices, and maybe what I would do would not be what you would do, but that's okay. I just wanted to share the process of finding the trailer that I wanted, because the truth is, load boards, when you first start, they can be very confusing. It can be really exciting, but you can kind of get yourself put in a position where you're taking the heaviest, the longest to a place you don't want to go because it was paying a certain amount of money. And maybe it's not just all about the money to you. And so there's lots of factors, and just wanted to help you through this. So I'm going to go ahead and start the screen sharing with you right now. So right off the bat, we have 5 pages of 50 trailers a piece. On the last page, there probably isn't exactly 50. There's probably up to 50, probably somewhere in the middle there. But this is what we're really looking at when we're seeing a load board for any company, if they do actually have a load board hooked up to their company. And so what I'm going to be doing is going through kind of a process of elimination and just kind of giving an example. So for me, I do enjoy going east, and so I enjoy being able to find loads that are going that way and find the best one that fits me. What I prefer, my preference is, if there's enough loads to have a preference. Sometimes there isn't, and you just get what you get. And so you have to be flexible with that sometimes. But so for me, I enjoy going to Connecticut, maybe Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts. And so I'm going to go ahead and type in Connecticut. So I'm going to type in CT, and it looks like there's already 3 on here: Southington, Windsor, and Windsor Locks. So of these 3 trailers, the only one I can actually deliver is the bottom one to Windsor Locks, Connecticut. I can only haul up to 13.7 with my GVWR. So those first 2 are crossed off for me to be able to do. So that's left me with a travel trailer that's a 30-foot travel trailer. It's 11,000 GVWR and some change. It's a normal load, so there's not going to be any more extra pay for that. It is going east, so it is the higher pay rate at the moment. So it's $1.20, and it's going 790 miles. So for me in this decision making, I would be willing to do this one. And it's also going to be picked up in the Topeka yard location. So that plays a factor as well. It's going to be further east of Goshen. So actually for me where I live, I'll actually be going straight to Topeka, and then I'll be even closer going east to deliver this. So this is not a problem for me. in picking this load. I'm going to also look at the details here. Sometimes there are certain things about the load that they don't share right off the bat there. You need to read in the notes. And this one just says, like basically all of them do, driver must call ahead to set delivery appointment. And then this particular trailer does not need to be washed. So you don't have to bring, $40 or whatever the wash fee might have been. You don't have to carry that in cash to actually pay for the wash fee, and then you get reimbursed later on. So that is the actual notes for that load. Let's try something else. Let's do Massachusetts here. Okay, so this is going to be a good one to be able to go through. There are several Massachusetts ones here, and they're all about the same mileage for the most part. Let's see, 856, 880, 863, 888. So several different ones right in a 30-mile radius maybe. So what I'm going to do, just kind of a process of elimination for me. The first thing that I do is, I might be kind of weird. I prefer travel trailers. It does take longer to get them hooked up. There is probably a slight decrease in fuel economy doing a travel trailer due to aerodynamics and everything. But I prefer travel trailers for whatever reason. I prefer them. And so I'm going to be then looking at the weight. For me, I already know where it's going. They're all going to Massachusetts. I'm choosing one of these travel trailers. So these top two, and then the three from the bottom above there, and then they are all normal besides the top one, which is paying 5 cents extra. So that does play a higher role to me in deciding what one I want to choose. It is old, and it is the longest miles that I'm looking at delivering to that state. So for me, that's right off the bat. That's going to be probably higher up on the list on the ones that I want to choose from. So that's a 26-foot. We have a 26-foot. That's the old one. And then we have the 29-foot, a 27, a 22, and a 29. They're travel trailers that I'm wanting to choose. So I'm narrowing it down to those 5. And then the weight is another large factor in this thing. And so we've got 7,000, 7.5, 7.6, 5.9. That's extremely lighter. So for me, getting the trailer that best fits my needs, what I would choose is the best trailer to get overall between. They're all going to the same place. They're all normal besides one that was older that's paying 5 cents more. That's great. And then the weight and the length is what it really comes down to for me. They're all going just about the same place, and weight and length are going to be a factor for me. So looking at this, my first thought would be, well, the 22-foot at 5,900 pounds, that's going to get me maybe slightly a little bit better economy. It is shorter, so I can maneuver it even better. I mean, this is 22 foot. I think that's actually shorter than my truck. I think the truck's like almost 23. So that's kind of ridiculous. So 22 foot, that's great. But when we look over at the miles and the pay rate, it's 3 miles less, and it's 5 cents less every single mile. So for me, becoming between the two, the old and that normal one that's so much lighter and it's shorter, that 5 cents for me would be worth it. So for me, I would want to choose the 26-foot, 7,000-pound GVWR that's old, and it's going to be paying 3 miles more than the closest one to it, and it's going to be 5 cents more a mile. That's going to be picked up in Lot 4. That's real close. That's in Goshen, real close to Lot 1, the home base. We look at the delivery notes, and it says driver must call ahead to set delivery appointment. that's usual. Do not wash, so there's no wash fee included in this situation. So for me, these are just some of the factors that go into me actually deciding which load I want off of the load board. Just a good tip is to have maybe 2 or 3 ready to go if the first one has already been picked, and so that you're not just standing on the phone saying, let me look through my phone real quick, and you're making them wait, maybe when there's other drivers calling in. So have a list of 2 or 3 trailers from best to worst, ones that you're willing to do. Know where you want to go, how far you want to go, the miles, all these things. Make sure that that fits your criteria for what you're wanting to actually deliver. And hopefully this video helps you kind of sharpen your decision making in what factors really you want to weigh heavier than ones that are maybe lighter in making the decision of which load you want to grab. So now you know exactly how I choose my loads. You know my secret sauce to deciding what trailer I'm going to grab off the load board. So I will be competing against you on the load board at Synergy from now on, I guess. And hope you're staying safe out there. And we'll talk soon. God bless.